Hi, I'm here with Susan Carey from Ontario, Canada. Great to be with you, Susan. We're going to do a session, uh, help answer some of her concerns or interests with the Oracle decks and the Akashic Records. Susan, what did you want help on, or what did you want to focus on today?
I would like some input on how I can be more creative and expressive going forward in my life. Uh, a new pathway to take that would give me opportunities to express and create.
Great. So I'm going to start with the an Oracle deck, one of the ones that I find very useful and helpful, and people like the Sacred Destiny deck. Some people may know
Hmm.
by Denise Lynn. And I'll start by choosing a card, just selecting a card for Susan that'll begin the insights and the processing and developing the intuition on developing your creative abilities and expression, right?
Right, right.
So I'm just randomly kind of flushing the deck and seeing which one
Mm.
has a energy for me. So I'm going to pick from the deck. And the card is, there's some birds flying and it says freedom.
Can you lift it up a little bit so I can
Freedom,
freedom? Hmm.
some birds flying, and I'll read you the insight.
Hmm.
And as you're doing a reading, like you're getting messages, I'm getting messages, things are beginning to formulate in your intuition,
Hmm.
I would imagine,
Right.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
Anything you wanted to say before I read the brief description from the guidebook? Give you
Well, just the thought, free as a bird.
free as a bird. That's
Hmm.
powerful.
Hmm.
Uh, free as a bird. I like that image, and those were some birds on the card. And I'll read this brief description in the guidebook about that, and then we'll go into take it into the Akashic Records for further illumination. There's a cliff swallow. The swallow flies free on wind currents and thermals in remarkable aerial maneuvers. Yes, yes. Okay. And the message for this landscape, the sacred landscape in the deck, I'll hold it up here if you can see it. Express yourself without hesitation. Break free and let your spirit fly. Make choices that increase your freedom. Don't be tied down. Laugh, dance, explore, and go beyond predictable behavior. Be daring. Cast aside restrictions. Find your wings. As you do, you'll help others and find theirs. You're not here to be ordinary or live a mundane life, Susan. You're here to step beyond limitations and self-imposed boundaries. Um, not be trapped by convention or the need to please others. Choose life on your terms. You don't have to accept rules. You can be immensely free and yet still be a part of a loving, supportive community.
Hmm.
So any or all of that or any part of that could be part of the messaging for you. What are you picking up on so far on that card and that image, Susan?
Well, I like the flock of birds behind the main bird, like being part of a community, but still free to fly around and do whatever um, you feel called to do.
Flying there for you.
Yeah, yes. I like
Follow the
that.
flying bird.
Yeah. Spread your wings and fly. That's really cool. And
Right.
yet there are lots of birds around me too. I don't have to be totally alone in my
Right. So
flying.
some of those other birds may be freedom flyers like you, freedom
Yes,
flying
exactly.
swallows like you. So
Yes.
part of your community, which you're having and being part of, because I know you're part of some of our spiritual guidance training programs. You're
Mhm.
developing connections, I know, with people.
Yes, yes. And really good. That's really great. Yeah, I like it.
And yeah, brings a smile to your face. That's great.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
one of the things that resonated with me, maybe for you in that interpretation of the swallows, the freedom card here, is not being bound by convention or pleasing anyone.
Right. I've done a lot of that all my life. I've gotten to be an old lady and I know how to read people and know when they're not happy and I know how to make them happy and it's it has to take a back seat now
Right.
to how I live.
And we're going to find out
Yes.
more about that in the Akashic Records, the Cosmic
Hmm.
Library database momentarily. But before that,
Yes.
how, what do you need to let go of? You said you have to let go. How would you let go of that pleasing or bound by conventions or
Well, it's the need to feel you belong
Mhm.
somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's how we're raised to fit in and please people. And so now finding other communities like in the picture with a flock of other flyers around me. And they don't seem to really care if I'm flying in a different way. We're just all flying.
Well said.
Yeah.
And is there one more thing before we access the records? Is there any where you want to fly, so to speak, or be free to fly to in terms of expressing or creative activity?
Um, I'd like to express more of the divine for people. Um, um, Soul type of energy. Um, Sometimes I feel very close to God, and I'd like to express more of that in my daily living and
Mhm.
in work. I would like to develop some kind of work that expresses divine presence in the soul,
Hmm. Okay.
and not feel I'll be ostracized or
Hmm.
you know won't fit in or won't
Hmm.
belong or
Okay. I
you
think
know.
we have a good beginning insight here. Are you beginning to
Hmm.
get some picking up some clarity and insight on the issue about more freedom,
Right.
more creativity?
Hmm. Yes.
Yep,
um
it feels like it.
hmm.
So to enter the Akashic Records is really very simple, and I'll do go there with you to your Akashic Records. That's the database, your soul's secrets locked in your history there, and recorded thoughts, feelings, energetic impressions from the past lives, present, and potential futures. We can kind
Mm.
of see where choices you would be taking now would lead into your future.
Oh.
So we can do that very simply. We can do it through invoking and also visualizing. And sometimes we like to just imagine kind of breathing in some pure, clear energy. And this also puts us in a more soulful place. And as you breathe in pure, clear energy, Susan, and if you want, you can close your eyes, just breathing in pure, clear energy. It lets your body relax in the way that's right for you. And as you become more and more relaxed and more clear, you're just allowing yourself to feel lighter and lighter still, floating up to a wonderful high place atop the world, atop the universe, a very beautiful place. And you just rise up to that place, and maybe you've been there before, maybe it's new today, a little different. And let me know when you've arisen there, Susan.
I'm there in a
You're there. What's it like
beautiful.
for you?
It's just very light filled and floaty kind of feeling.
So you're in this very light filled, was it peaceful place floating?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's an opening, a portal still where you can open and access the Akashic record and learn all the what is good for you, everything that you uh, want to know, need to know, that's right for you now, for your higher purpose. Does that sound good for you?
Mm-hmm.
So just allow yourself to go through that opening however you see it or feel it, and you enter the records. And we'll even connect with Metatron. We need not, but he's the archangel who also helps keep the records up there, who can help guide us or assist us. So beginning to get a sense of in the records is an energetic feeling space. Um, so going back to any past lives that might be affecting you in terms of constriction or anything that you need to know in your past life that bound you into convention or pleasing, or even earlier in this life, but in previous lives. And you can let me know if you're beginning to sense something as I am.
It's a feeling of being locked up.
Mm-hmm. And why were you locked up in that previous time?
So I wouldn't talk or express.
Mm-hmm. So you were saying something that someone uh, punished you for and severely locking you up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did you do that got you punished like that?
I don't know. I got my tongue cut out or something.
Yeah. What were you saying against? What was the situation that caused that extreme circumstance?
I was talking back, I guess,
Who,
to
yeah.
to a man,
Who was that man that you were talking back to?
my father.
Who was it?
I think it was my father.
Your father at the time. Hmm.
Hmm.
So he punished you to that severe degree.
Yeah.
Hmm. So knowing that part,
It
what,
almost makes me cry.
yeah, it is very sad. What would you like to do to that past part, and how would you like to uh, console or allow that space that's back in time to forgive yourself and understand what you can learn from that?
What would I like to say to myself? That I am
Right. What would
forgiven.
you like to say to that past part that was punished for speaking out?
That was um it wasn't a fair punishment.
Yeah.
Um, you you deserve to speak. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay
Mm-hmm.
to have a right to speak.
You do have the right to speak.
And whatever I said, I must have said something against God or something
Mm-hmm.
because I was angry.
Right. So is there any kind of forgiveness that you want to do at this point? Forgiving yourself, that person who was your father, anything you want to help
I want to forgive everything.
forgive it all? Hmm.
Just forget it. Like not not let it shut me down so much.
Right. So what can you learn from that experience in terms of just breathing? And we could do a little EFT tapping now because that's a pretty intense experience. So we
Hmm.
could start doing some continuous tapping. So tap the top of the head and then tap the eyebrow. We're clearing the energy around that. And then the side of the eyes, under the eyes, under the nose, just gently tapping the chin, the collarbone, under the arm, taking a breath, and then tapping, saying, what, I forgive myself,
Forgive myself. I
breathing
am
in,
forgiven.
I'm forgiven, tapping the heart, forgiving myself,
Forgiving myself for speaking badly.
and being forgiven. Okay.
I am forgiven.
And just breathing. let me know how you're feeling.
Of course I'm forgiven.
Yes, you are forgiven. Is there something
As
from
some kind of
Mhm.
I'm feeling much lighter, like
Great.
I can just speak up all I want.
Right, you can now speak up. Is there anything learning from that experience or anything you're carrying forward now in this life going forward, a learning?
That it's safe
Hmm.
and that to speak. It's safe to speak. It's safe to say what I'm thinking, but to not get so angry
Hmm. Not get so angry about what?
when I'm talking, when I get so angry at things that are wrong or unfair.
Yeah, so it's what about not getting so angry? Instead of that anger, you're going to be doing what?
Channeling it better
Channeling it? What
into
would, yeah, go ahead.
action that um, that allows me to um, just let it roll through me and let it go and realize it's I can't change all that. I can only fly and sing like a bird and
Hmm. Yes.
and it's this fear of authority. Hmm.
What about authority?
A fear
A fear
of
of authority.
yeah, like being
Okay.
wrongly accused and
Right. And yeah, that's
dragged
very,
away and
yeah.
it's it's not realistic now.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a
And
time to be cautious and a time, not to be.
mhm,
So right now, you don't have to have the fear of authority. You can instead you can accept
mm,
accept things the way they are with taking what action you can.
yes, and realizing I'm not that little sort of slave or whatever.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's different now, and
it is different now. So
those
let's
were
tap that in.
other
It's different.
times.
It's different now because right
It's
now we're
different now.
back. Yeah, in
Mhm.
and we're still in the records.
Yeah, it's
It's
different
different
now.
now. Shall we, as you're tapping through that,
It's
just
different.
allowing the difference to realize that you're no longer back there, that you've
Not
learned
back
some,
there now.
you're wiser, you're
Yes,
freer,
I've learned a
you're more
lot.
accepting. You can take
Yeah,
action and create creative expression.
yes, I have my own mind.
I like that. You have your own mind.
I am connected to God,
Yes.
and I am acceptable. What I say,
You're what with that?
I am acceptable. It's okay to speak,
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
I can be heard
Mm-hmm.
if people want to hear me,
Yes. It sounds right.
and I don't have to bite my tongue, literally.
Yeah. Instead of
Mhm.
that, you can just
Mhm.
what relax or what would be body um the body action.
Relax, breathe.
Relax. So you're breathing and your tongue's relaxed.
Yeah, and breathe and um that's connected to expressing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So, and
Wow.
is your tongue feeling relaxed?
Yeah.
If it's relaxed, you can probably express yourself more, right? And more appropriately and creatively.
Yes.
Good.
I had to actually go. I oh, this is an aside. I just came back to the present.
Yeah,
That's
coming.
good.
Yeah, well, let's come out of let's
Yeah.
officially come out of
Mm,
the record so we have a
mhm.
clean kind of
Okay.
closure there. So we'll come back down and ground ourselves into our body and close the records and thank the
Hmm.
records for being the wonderful resource it is
Wow, yes.
and tool. Coming
Thank
back
you.
here with your feet on the ground. That was very
Hmm.
good, Susan. What were you going to say there?
I actually had to go for speech therapy when I was a child because I couldn't speak with my
Wow,
tongue properly.
right. So going
You
forward, do you
know?
like the idea of just relaxing your tongue, or do you have
Mhm.
another kind of image or thought or body action for yourself, or even using the birds too?
I like the bird and the sound and the just the thought of flying.
Free as a bird, you said.
Yes, free as a bird, free to sing.
So you're free as a bird, you can relax your body and your tongue,
Mm, hmm.
speak appropriately, creatively.
Yeah,
So going forward, now that
yeah.
you have more of this freedom and relaxation, where do you see it? How do you
Mm,
see it beginning to play out in your life, this creative expression? You wanted to be more creative when we began.
mm. Uh, um, I'd like to write more,
Yes.
um, create some kind of online presence, um, that shares the thoughts and insights.
Hmm.
Um,
Good. All those sound wonderful. What would be your next step now, just going forward in that direction of creative expression?
Putting time into it instead of um, other distractions.
Yeah, right.
You know,
So,
like
so
I,
would you like to start with like even a small schedule of commitment of a certain amount of time, a
that's
certain
a good
amount
idea.
daily or
Yes,
weekly? Do you have a
yes.
sense of what would be something you'd like to do to get the creative expression going?
Um, just start writing, maybe poetry or um, even in journaling. It can be very creative.
Yeah.
I find. I I think I'll journal more
How often
from a,
would you like to do that?
every day now.
Okay. Do you have a
Mhm.
time in the day and a journal and like a way or a dictation,
Hmm.
audio to text or writing or typing? Do you have a way to do it?
No, I have notebooks,
There's a
but
way to do it in
there's other
Word.
ways.
There's ways to record either your voice in
Hmm.
Word in Microsoft, or there's audio programs or apps even on a cell phone, which it'll turn your words into text.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you could get
Yeah,
started, just pick one and keep,
just pick one and try it, and
yeah, go with that.
yeah, talk to my soul, see if I can connect with that.
Yeah, you have a lot to say and offer. It's just a matter of committing
Hmm.
yourself to a format, a way to do it so it's easy for you and doable and every day.
Okay,
You
that's
you like the
yeah.
idea of committing to that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That's a
So
good one.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. So the complete here, very good, Susan. We got that card about freedom and the different
Hmm.
swallows and having other free spirits, connecting with them, some of which you are, and the idea of
Hmm.
relaxing your tongue and
Hmm.
speaking, expressing yourself in the way that you want and being more accepting of things that you can't change, sort of the serenity prayer.
Exact that
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That is so true.
Yeah.
So true.
Accept the things I
Mm,
cannot change,
and-
the courage to things I
to-
can, and the wisdom to know the
yes,
difference.
yes. Okay. I should say that every day.
And you could, that could be part of your journal or include that in
Yes.
your journal or some.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
When I start, yeah.
So in closing, what was helpful for you, or just what would you like to do? Just kind of where we started and where we're concluding for now. I know it's continuing to go forward and finding out about your creative expression today on the Sacred Destiny Freedom card and the Akashic
Mm,
Records insight from past life.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, just a closing, just kind of what you're kind of picking up as a what what did the value of it or what you got out of
That was
that
so
experience.
valuable, like I keep um coming into it's been like a wall, like I hit the wall,
Wow, yeah. So instead of
like
hitting the wall now, what are you
now I
you're a
don't
free
have to,
bird.
there's no walls up there.
If you're flying around in the sky like the birds, there are no
There's
walls.
no
If there
walls.
were,
Yeah,
you could fly over them.
fly into another bird or maybe.
Uh,
Yeah.
Free as a bird. Very good,
Yeah.
Susan.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that helped you.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
That was great.
Yeah, great being with you.
Mhm.